Good evening. This is Point Blank here at KTN News. Dr. AUKOT actually is a friend of mine. He challenged me to bring him, and he's talking point blank. Dr. in terms of your bill, which you want Kenyans to consider, I just need to understand the conflict that seems to be going into the judiciary, that somehow you're not transparent about the Kenyans who want your bill to go to a referendum. The general argument that somehow you acted fraudulently.
How? I mean, you know, first of all, the process we followed was above board. It was in the open. We advertised this process. We used online process. I went to about 14 counties. I went to supermarkets. I went to you know, marketplaces. I went to bus stops to collect these signatures. You know, Tony, there are only two ways you can seek to amend the Constitution of Kenya: parliamentary initiative or popular initiative. The Constitution of Kenya cannot be amended by pronouncements and shouts in funeral services or in weddings, as some of these people are doing. Until you invoke any of those two, that's the only one. Secondly, it has been said the opponents of this bill are rejecting it without even having read it. For example, people like Ishole will say, oh, we are taking away the gains of women. Totally ignorant. I wish you could read. She's a lawyer, for heaven's sake. Read this bill. It's actually elevating women, giving women a 50-50. And Honorable Ngirishi and Aisha Juma have already noted this. Then the other people like Otiende Amolo, who he hosted, I think, sometimes back here, of course, backing on behalf of his godfather, Raila, says that there is no public participation. Public participation is inbuilt in Article 257. What is public participation? When 1.2 million people say, yes, go, I mean, we agree with you, isn't that public participation? And then they are saying, oh, signatures were fraudulent. How do they know? Are they experts on signatures? Secondly, I thought Otiende Amolo was in the same boardroom with me when we were writing this constitution. And we said in Article 257 that all IEBC, even if you bring 10 million signatures, all IEBC must do is to verify that are they registered voters. Article 257, sub-article 4. And let's not talk more about this matter because it's before court. Yes. And I'm very unhappy with the judge, but that's my personal feeling, because a similar case, we have filed a case against BBI where we are asking for their disbandment. The same judge refused to give us any conservatory order. Here is a judge.
I need to, you've mentioned the judge, so I must make an editorial point that on Point Blank and KTN, we are aware there is a court case, and we respect we're not getting involved. But I have to make the editorial.
Yes, but there are certain facts that Kenyans must know. I have
said the view of KTN and Point Blank.
No problem. These are my personal view as a Kuru AUKOT, a lawyer.
The disclaimer is
absolutely. But I want to tell you there are facts that Kenyans must know. That I wish that the judiciary will not allow itself to be sucked into the politics of this amendment. Because how do you give an order?
I can't go beyond there.
I know, but how can you give an order? I mean, I'm asking. I want Kenyans to hear. I'm taking full responsibility.
I'm saying there's a matter before court.
Yes.
No, they want to come back to...
no, but for me, it's important I say this, Tony. We were served with a petition 4:45 p.m. on a Friday. And we are given a day. I thought this is point blank. I thought in Point Blank we say...
there's a matter before the court. Let the court...
But I'm taking personal responsibility.
We've said the KTN has to take a position. There's a court will decide. Now, on the issue of your colleague, Amolo Otiende, and what he has said, he's not here. The question that I was asking was about representation, because there's an issue I want to get behind, registration, I mean. I want to understand whether or not you're confident as a party and the leader of that party that you have 1 million people who want Kenyans to take this bill seriously. That's what I'm asking.
Do you know what Kenyans are even saying right now?
Do you have 1 million valid signatures?
Yes, it's IEBC.
So no, I'm asking you.
IEBC confirmed it, and
no, I know. I'm asking you.
But I'm telling you, I mean, I couldn't have taken 1.4 million signatures.
So there's no fraud.
None. What's
so you stand by the million signature?
1.2 actually, not 1 million.
Okay, that's I needed to ask that. Now coming to what this bill is trying to do. Punguza Mizigo is tied to the wage bill. It's tied to development. It's tied to so much. So as a bird's eye
Also,
view,
it also talks about corruption, the burden of corruption in this country. And what we have said that we've had even the president, Uhuru Kenyatta, say, what can I do about corruption? It looks like corruption is a runaway thing. It's like in this country, Tony, we no longer dispute over the fact that we are thieves. The question is how much do we steal and from where? That seems to be the agreement now. So we have said, let's strengthen the institution of the Auditor General, the DPP, DCI, so that when we are doing, for example, auditing, there has to be a forensic department inside the Auditor General's office to begin to gather evidence, watertight evidence, so that when you are a judge found to have misappropriated money, then you are convicted within a certain time. That's what the bill is saying. And the bill is saying, if we fight corruption, we are saving this country 3.78 trillion, money that is even more than the national budget.
I want to talk about that.
Yes.
How do you quantify that amount?
So we first of all, let me take Kenya's back memory lane 2010. In the last report of the Committee of Experts, we actually warned Kenyans that the cost of governance is likely to be very high. These structures we have given ourselves. So when we brought this proposed amendments to the Constitution, I told my chairman, Miruru Waweru, he's a CPA, he's an accountant and auditor. So I told him, can you cost for me what these amendments mean? For example, when you reduce overrepresentation, how much do we save? Something like 155 billion. When you abolish the position of deputy governor, we save something like 25 billion. And it costed all that because in terms of their salaries, we know. Nominations, how much will it cost us? Automating our elections, So in total, it's 3.78 trillion. This is money we can begin to use, Tony, to even now begin to repay our national debt, which is currently at 5.6 trillion Kenyan shillings. Meaning, even your little child, Tony, owes somebody at least 120,000. Hata mimba katika hii nchi inadaiwa. Iko na deni. So the moment, these are issues that we are concerned. Teachers, doctors, nurses have been crying about the failure by government to honor their collective bargaining agreements, which are about, give and take, less than 7 billion each. Even from the 37.5 billion that we are saving by reducing the number of parliamentarians, we can fix all the CBS. And that means 46 million Kenyans will have the services of teachers, nurses, and doctors. Now, what is a better deal for us? We are a country that is still struggling with basics. There are children today, I saw in Kilifi, parts of Kwale, Turkana, northern Kenya, where kids are still learning under trees. They have no classrooms. To build a modern day classroom, you need about 500,000. So you can imagine how much money, for example, we build even by saving 1 billion.
So to the million of Kenyans watching you, I've asked you point blank, and I think that you are clever. And I've said that you have a strategy and to amend the Constitution. And in that strategy, you've roped in the MCAs and the deputy governors.
And the senators as well, and the MPs as well.
And you've roped.
And the Kenyans as well.
And to the exclusion of the political leadership.
We have not excluded anybody.
So I put it to you, you can answer. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka has gone public and rejected the Punguza Mizigo initiative. What do you say to Kalonzo?
First of all, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, as a lawyer, he claimed that this constitutional bill has not met the constitutional threshold. I mean, unless he didn't go to law school, unless he doesn't have a mind to read a simple Article 257, what is a constitutional threshold? So the constitutional threshold is that you must go.
So you're dismissing Kalonzo?
It's not worth my response. He's exhibited so much ignorance of this bill.
Masika Wetangula, the leader of Fort Kenya,
he said we are out of order.
Has dismissed your bill.
Yes.
What do you say to him?
I also say to Wetangula, take time and read this bill. It will help the villagers in Bungoma where you come from. It will bring water to them. It will bring education classroom to them. Are you dismissing
him? He has rejected.
I am dismissing Wetangula's assertion that we are out of order. What exactly do you mean by we are out of order? This is not a motion in Senate. Tony, of all these people who are opposed to this bill, I wish they could give reasons, reasoned reasons why we must we must reject this bill. They are not giving any reasons. And I want to say this, Tony, lastly. This is not political competition. I don't see it as political competition.
My next question, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and Raila Amolo Odinga created, I think Uhuru did through an executive order, created the BBI initiative.
Building bridges,
And it's going out there also to gather views. And they, Raila Odinga said at the funeral of the late AUKOT,
Ken Okoth.
Yeah, that your bill, the Punguza Gunia.
Yes.
Are you dismissing Kenyatta and Odinga?
I'm dismissing anybody who has, by the way, to be fair, Uhuru has not spoken against this bill, just to be fair. Raila has spoken against this bill and many others. He has called this Punguza
Do you
Gunia.
doubt he's with BBI, Kenyatta?
Well, until the man speaks, I don't want to speculate on what he could have said or not have said. But to Raila, he called this Punguza Gunia. It's true, I agree with him. You know, Kenyans carry mizigo in gunias. And the gunia is so heavy for Kenyans, we need to punguza.
So are you telling Kenyans that the former Prime Minister is talking in isolation, that he doesn't have Kenyatta's support in the BBI?
I'm sure he's a man who has a mind of his own, so I don't want to get into the mind of Kenyatta or Raila Odinga, but I can only comment.
Are you evading, or is there a BBI initiative?
There is a BBI initiative, and I've spoken
created
about...
by an executive order by Kenyatta?
Yes, it was created, but for me, I will also say that that BBI is unconstitutional, it's directionless, it's duplicious of functions, it's a total waste of our money. And I said they're spending about 10 billion Kenyan shillings. If I had that 10 billion Kenyan shillings, I'll build proper classrooms.
So married in the BBI is Kenyatta and Raila. I can confirm to you, I can ask you.
That's an agreement between two individuals.
So, yes,
Yes, it's an agreement between two individuals, President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga. I mean, that is the agreement. I feel that an imposition of an agreement between two individuals on 46 million Kenyans is not fair. And it's not fair.
As leader of the Punguza Mizigo...
And by the way, one of the TORs of BBI was not to go solicit views on how to make the constitution. In fact, I dare say here, I think Uhuru sympathized so much with Raila, he decided to give him a political gift of campaigning for 2022. Because to be honest with you, how come of all the 9 points, none there says go collect views to seek to amend the constitution? They were talking about matters cohesion, which there's a constitutional commission, cohesion, matters corruption, there is EACC, matters security, we have NIS, we have our KDF, you know. So that was just a political gift from Uhuru to Raila.
So I'm asking, in terms of your initiative that seeks these amendments, the political support, which, because it's important for Kenyans to know, I've gone through and I've had, in this course of the interview, you've named two people, Aisha Juma and Girichi.
There are many, and they're all the MCS.
And all the MCS.
The CAF, the County Assemblies Forum, so all the speakers have supported the Punguza Mizigo. They even made that declaration very keenly. The people of Kenya today, Tony, and I wish you could sample some of the views, they fully support Punguza Mizigo. Okay, so if a few individuals are opposed to it, that's also democracy. I don't expect everybody to agree with me.
So that we move on.
And there are even people who are saying, oh, you know, we like what is in this bill, but you don't like a QUAGMIRE. Fair enough, you don't have to love me or like me. I mean, just engage with the ideas that, you know.
In terms of a timetable, where is the timetable of your initiative? Where are you now for Kenyans to know? What should they expect?
Yeah, so one of the things that really annoys me about, although you don't want to discuss it, is the interference by the judiciary in the constitutional timelines. Because you cannot amend a constitutional timeline through an order.
I need this interview to be aired. And
yes, you will.
I really ask you.
But you see, you have allowed me to speak about BBI, and BBI is also in court.
No, well, you know, they are not. You know, you are a participant in the court. It will.
Yeah, but
anyway, I would rather.
Tony, I can assure you, there is no legal issue here. There's no legal.
I can't.
By the way, the rule of sub judice is very thin now. There's a many decisions.
I need to ask. Yeah, let's. Yeah.
So in terms of timelines, the county assemblies have got 3 months if it's not interfered with. Then from there, it comes to National Assembly, and the words are very clear: as soon as possible, they must release the.
Let's say, where are you? Like now, you've done how many count?
No. So the bill currently has been tabled in the county assemblies, all the 47 of them.
Oh, it's simultaneous at once.
Yes, it was there. So their time started ticking when IEBC confirmed it has sent the bill to the county assemblies. So what I'm doing right now,
so what timeline do they have to?
Maximum 3 months.
Oh,
90 days.
90 days.
90 days.
And you give it last.
I think they gave it when? Is it last month?
Yeah. So you're looking at before Christmas.
Definitely. I mean, from what I hear from some of the county assemblies, they are so eager to pass this bill, even this month. So the ball will be on the Parliament and Senate. Once they also pass or reject it, it will come to the people of Kenya in a referendum. So I'm seeing, as by early first quarter of next year, we should be able to go into a referendum. Or if you want to give Kenyans a gift, a true gift, an honest gift, we can go to the referendum even before December.
Bwana AUKOT, has anyone given you money for this bill?
Yes, Kenyans have given me money.
How much?
Kenyans have, right now our pay bill number 785500, and the account is your name, is doing I think about over 500. I don't keep it, it's my CEO Andrew Njoroge who has the details. Yes, so we launched a pay bill in Murang'a.
How much have you raised?
I'm telling you, now I think I've raised about over 500,000 from.
And 500,000.
And we only launched the pay bill just last week in
Let
Murang'a.
me ask you, in terms of you are going around the country and so on, can somebody accuse you of political patronage?
No, nobody can accuse me of that. Why would I? I mean, listen, Tony, you're my friend and you've known each other for a while. By now you should know that I'm a man of my own. I'm my own man. Nobody can patronize me. Plus, I'm not patronizable.
Now, assuming as a lawyer, if you could wear the other hat and be impartial, assuming that your bill does go through the counties and the Odinga Kenyatta bill, the BBI, also goes through the counties, are you telling Kenyans that there is a possibility of 2 referendums?
You know, I cannot speculate on something that I've already adjudged as being unconstitutional. I can only comment to you when I see what proposal they are put. No, but from what I gather, it's more kuongezewa Kenya mizigo than
No, I'm not asking about the merits. I'm only asking technically. Could this country, for the first time since independence, face 2 referendums? And if those referendums are different and both pass, is there a conflict? A constitutional crisis?
There's no conflict. There's no conflict. I mean, if anybody promotes successfully a constitutional amendment bill and that leads to a referendum, yes, we could go to a referendum.
I'm asking you this because...
By the way, going to referendum is not anything special.
No,
there are countries that go to referendum almost every year.
I hear you, but I'm asking on this issue. For example, the BBI want an executive with a prime minister, for example.
Kenyans will reject it.
No, I put it to you. It's for Kenyans,
yes.
you know, and then you would have this. Assume both pass. What I'm asking you, so Kenyans can think here in their bedroom or in their sitting room tonight as they watch Point Blank. What happens if there are 2 referendums that pass? What's the impact, as an architect of the 2010 Constitution, what's the impact you think if both were to pass? You
know, first of all, Tony, I don't want to speculate on something that I haven't really seen. But assuming, I mean, even for argument's sake that there'll be a proposition for prime minister or whatever, listen, this country is not a personal chattel or a few individuals. That you want to go into a constitutional amendment so that you can be accommodated. That is the inclusivity lie these people are talking about. That if you create the position of prime minister because we are targeting certain supposedly big shots or regional bosses, that now Kenya will be at peace with each other. Kenya is not at war.
You know, I don't want to interrupt you. I really need an answer. I don't want to interrupt you so that people say I'm interrupting you. I only asked you, is there a possibility of 2 amendments? And as a lawyer and a senior person in the community of experts, do you see a possibility of two issues that look uneven in the constitutional order? Meaning, yours is an executive president for 1 term with a deputy. The other one is a prime minister, a deputy, and 4 prime minister with 2 deputies. I mean, they're different philosophies.
You know, like I say, I don't know why you're pushing me into speculating what these people will come up with. I wish we can answer that question when we reach there. And maybe you're better off hosting the proponents of BBI on your show to tell you exactly what they are coming up with.
But he was here. You told me the landed lawyer,
for now.
Your brother, who was also a member of the committee of experts, was here.
But what did he say?
No, I'm
he
saying
said
about the executive.
He said we wait for BBI.
I'm putting it to you, but you can answer or not.
Yeah.
He's saying they are going for a parliamentary system and that the report is finished. It's being published in September.
Is he a member of the BBI?
Well, look, I'm saying his philosophy or the philosophy of that BBI team will be a different structure of the executive. Yours is 1 president with a deputy, an imperial presidency. Theirs is a parliamentary system. I'm asking for Kenyans to think about it. Should they both pass, will it not conflict the current 2010 Constitution?
Well, no. If a bill passes, then you will have to amend the Constitution because it's a bill to amend the Constitution. Okay? So you are saying that if ours passes and theirs passes, We will have to wait until such a time when, but in the interest of argument, I don't see Kenyans accepting more mizigo.
No, but we asked you to be impartial for a minute.
No.
Kenyans are asking, if both pass, what happens?
If both pass, listen, first of all, Tony, please, don't draw me into something that is not even on the table. What's on the table right now is punguza mizigo. Let's discuss. You invited me to come and discuss punguza mizigo, not to speculate on what other people are thinking. You know, hiyo ni shauri yao. When they bring their proposal on the table, Kenyans will interrogate it the same way Kenyans right now are interrogating punguza mizigo. To be honest, I don't want to be drawn into the BBI, issues. That is their pet project. We will wait and see.
Mheshimiwa, your critics say you are a road ranger. You're hunting. Well, I'm asking.
Okay.
Your critics say, Mheshimiwa, I'm not in conflict with you. In fact, you say we are friends, which is true.
Yeah.
And you know that I was among the first Kenyans jailed. In fact, I was jailed by 7 judges of the Court of Appeal for fighting for freedom. So you know, I'm asking you for the people's interest, in the public interest.
Yeah.
My question is this. A lot of your critics say you are a lone ranger. You're not a team player. So it is fair to ask you, who are you with in this journey? You've spoken for the Kenyan people.
Okay, fine. You know, first of all, let me say this. The people who say AUKOT is a lone ranger, there is nobody who can single-handedly run a political party. In my party, there are members of the National Executive Committee. These are structures of political parties, even if you go to the offices of the ORPP. They are there.
Who are they?
I've got a national chairman, Miruru Aweru. I've got a secretary general, Frederick Okango. I've got our CEO, treasurer, Andrew Njoroge. I've got Giovanna Bunei, who is a national women leader. I've got Apio, who is our national youth leader. I've got Joanne Lagat, who is our assistant. I've got Andrew Ilere, who is our organizing secretary. By the way, we are one of only few political parties that are compliant. We have structures. So I'm not a lone ranger. You see, when people say you're a lone ranger, they expect you to be sucking up to the usual fellows, to be seen to be working them. No, you're kama kujipaka matope for me. And there's nothing like...
Your critics say that you are the one who is going to bring down the dynasties. Is that your agenda?
No. Listen, I am not targeting anyone. I'm only targeting issues that concern Kenyans. And those issues you have enumerated. Corruption is one of the issues that we are actually targeting. Over-representation is the issue. Taking more money to the counties, using the ward as a unit of accelerated development, addressing historical gender imbalance, cutting down the wage bill. Those are the issues I'm targeting. I'm not targeting any individual.
Mheshimiwa, you've said here on point blank that you are a critical architect of the 2010 Constitution. Are you now saying through this amendment that you made a mistake then?
No, I did not make a mistake. A responsible constitutional builder or lawyer must always build mechanisms on how a constitution can be reviewed, amended, or refreshed. And that's why we have Article 255, 256, and 257. This is standard.
People who have worked with you have told point blank that among the biggest mistakes you did, you pushed, and we addressed this, constitutional commissions, and you're fighting women. Grady Cholet, Boss Cholet, has said, this constitution is anti-women. Your critics have said...
Which constitution? This constitution or the proposed amendment?
You're answering them as the program comes to an... I'm saying your critics have said it's anti-women. Your critics say when you are the committee of experts, you created constitutional commissions. And all the civil society, they disappeared because you absorbed them for paychecks, including the Nyachai Commission, many that achieved nothing. And they say you are a proponent.
Tony, a constitution of any country cannot be a one-man document. Alafu Sholei kwanza. Sholei is actually, I even represented her one time, she was my client. And I don't know why Sholei is just refusing to read. This is a 17-page document. Actually, the bill itself is very short. It's up to like page 9. Page 9 or page 8. It's just 8 pages. Why can't she just read? And then the explanation is only like 7 pages, for heaven's sake. Read it. We are not taking this is the most pro-women constitutional amendment in the entire world. We are balancing, we're saying 50-50. It's not difficult. I mean, commissions were created after a negotiation. Now what I've come to say, let's relook at these commissions. and the costs that come with it. We are not even disbanding any commission. We are just saying the cost that comes with this commission is too much. And we are costing it. And I just want to say finally that, listen, nobody has monopoly of ideas in this country on how this country must change. We are all thinkers, we all went to school, and we can think about what is best for this country. The Wanjiko are awakening, they are rising up, and they will take over this country pretty soon.
Daktari tells me, and he's a friend, Raila, Uhuru, Kalonzo, Wetangula, he is with the people. This is KTN News. Asante sana for coming. Thank you for coming.
Unachochea.